Okay, just going to quickly go over the idea of pseudocode here for the pseudocode assignment. I'm not going to read this all to you. Of course, you can go through it. The big thing to take from it is that pseudocode is fake code. The idea here is that you are given a solution that works, but it's not written in a language specific format. So if I give the code to somebody working in Visual Basic, they can translate what I've written and make it work in Visual Basic. If I give it to somebody in C# or Java or any other language, they should have enough information on the pseudocode to understand how the problem has to be solved. And then from there, basically, they have to translate it into the specific language that they're working in. So if we just kind of take a look down here, what's it say? Just some examples of sort of the basic pseudocode commands. I use print to indicate something has to be displayed on the screen. Now, the statement print works in some languages. It doesn't work in either Visual Basic or C#. So you have to know that whenever you want to print something, I have to use whatever my proper output statement is. Get, I use get to indicate something that's going to be coming in from the user, so input. And again, how do I get input? With a text box possibly, or with an input box in Visual Basic, and then some similar options, of course, in C#. And then basically we go through some of these. Now this Celsius statement, for example, would actually work pretty much as written, except the little, I use the X for a multiplication symbol. And of course on the computer we use the asterisk. But other than that, that actually is a proper statement. The if statement gets the idea. If we're checking to see if age is greater than 70, and then of course whatever's going to happen happens after that, and so on and so forth. So again, this would be an example of pseudocode here. We're going to print on the screen, how old are you? How we do that is up to us. We're going to get the age, so we're going to get their response, and then we're going to compare the age to the value 70 and determine whether they're old enough that they have to retake their test every year. If they're not, then the computer will move on and check to see whether they're over 16, or say greater than or equal to 16, so over 15, and determine that they are of legal driving age. If it doesn't do that, of course, it moves down here and continues on. Now notice the indentation here. We've got the pseudocode indented the same way that we would in a computer program, so that it's very obvious this if statement has this stuff inside of it, and then the next option is down here. So these are lined up nicely so that we can see option 1, option 2, option 3, and else, of course, is your fallback option. If none of the other options occurred, it gets down to else, and it always does this if it has not done one of the others. As the if statement works, basically, as soon as it finds a match, so as soon as it sees that the age is greater than 70, it runs this section and then jumps over. Again, that's probably for another day, but that's sort of how it's organized, and that's how we organize our pseudocode as well. Here's an example with a do loop. We haven't really got there yet, so probably not the biggest idea. And the note saying we indent the pseudocode to make it obvious which code appears within a do or an if, and so on. So as we mentioned before. So the assignment, programming problems in Visual Basic. Create a Visual Basic program to do the following. Now, eventually, this is a sort of statement that you get as your instructions. Write a program to calculate the before tax sale price of an item, given the price and the percentage off. For now, here is the solution. And I want you to program exactly that solution. You're not at the point yet where I want you writing your own code, your own program. I want you doing the coding. So you need to know that when it says get price, you need to get the price from the user by either using an input box or using a text box. You want to get the percentage discount. So you're going to say how much is the discount, and they'll say 20. To calculate the amount that comes off, we take the price, we multiply by the discount percentage. So again, the value that they typed in here, whatever the variable name is you used, that will go there. And then we divide by 100 to get the actual amount of money that comes off. Because again, they're going to be putting in a number like 20. You want 20 divided by 100 to indicate the percentage. Sale price will be price minus that. And then of course you'll output at the end the actual price is going to be, or the sale price will be this. So for this, again, you are to program in exactly, line by line, exactly what I've typed. Down here, if hours is greater than 44, overtime hours is calculated this way. Change the hours to be equal to 44. And again, the indentation here indicates these two lines are the only thing inside the if statement. When that's done, it always comes back to do regular pay, overtime pay, total pay, and so on. So that's the basics of pseudocode. You are to program exactly what's written there. Basically, again, just translating letter for letter as best you can to the Visual Basic language, exactly what was there.